Hi guys, welcome to Trip Around the Multiverse with the man who mentally broke the Batman, Deacon Blackfire, aka CY Chun, with my co-host.
Oh, your co-host, everyone's favorite Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. That's my name this episode. It's not Kyle, it's Guy Gardner. I don't know
Okay,
what I even mean. Yeah. Hi.
everyone's favorite redneck Green Lantern, right?
Hey, he's from Detroit. He can't be a redneck.
To be fair, I have to say, I think he's got the lowest props out of everyone, as in, people don't talk about much about him because Guy Gardner,
Yeah.
Hal Jordan gets all the glory.
Yeah.
John Stewart's Black Green Lantern,
Yeah.
right? And he's used in all the multimedia stuff, so he gets props as well.
Yeah.
Carl Rayner was Green Lantern for an extended period of time by himself, and
Yeah.
Guy Gardner, he's just Ginger. He don't really get anything else.
No, which is quite crappy.
Yeah. We're not even talking about Simon Baz or Jessica Cruz. I'm just saying of all the four ones that had a long-standing Green Lantern history.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just known as the ginger one.
Yeah, yeah, or the redneck one, or the mouthy one, or
Yeah.
the yeah,
Or
or,
warrior.
yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
we are going to
gosh.
be speaking about upcoming comic book conversations that we'll be having, like specific storylines we will look into and stuff like that. You mentioned Guy Gardner for any particular reason?
No, I just
Okay.
like him.
No, I thought you were going to mention that, like a Guy Gardner specific Green Lantern storyline or something like that,
I don't.
or something that he was part of.
I don't think there is
Well, that's the problem,
any.
isn't it, with Guy Gardner? He doesn't seem to get many, like most of the shows are stolen by Hal Jordan, of course, right?
Yeah,
Um, but I can't think of it offhand, a Green Lantern story that is Guy Gardner as, I want to say, the lead, but more of he's a major role,
yeah.
co-lead
That's
or something like that, you know?
no, like you're saying, he has been like in what was it when they had Green Lantern Corps,
Yeah,
the comic. He was like obviously one of the main characters in that, but
yeah.
still wasn't really the A book, was it?
No, it was more like him and John Stewart were the co-leads.
Yeah, or him and Carl Rayner. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
never just
yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of even when he no, the only story I can think of that he was a proper lead is when after he got okay, you know how he lost the ring and got the yellow ring. Do you know about
No,
that?
no.
Okay, so Green Lantern Volume 3, Issue 25, right? Hal Jordan's like, I've had enough of your crap, Guy Gardner. Finally, I've had enough of it, yeah.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna I think Guy Gardner challenged and said, you know what, you've had enough of me, I've had enough of you. Let's
yeah.
have a fight, and whoever loses has to give up the Green Lantern ring. And when I say a fight, I don't mean with our weapons or nothing like that. Me, you versus you physically, because Hal Jordan had grey hairs at this point, right?
Yeah,
And pre-parallax retcon. And
yeah.
Guy Gardner said he'd been using the ring on himself to keep himself in his physical state. I don't even know if the ring can actually do that, but whatever.
Whatever, yeah. Comics, well.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he does that, and they have a fight, and then Guy Gardner's beating up Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's defending. They even quote the wrong fight though. They're like Hal Jordan's like Muhammad Ali did to Joe Frazier. It's like it's Muhammad Ali and George Foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
So but with the DC continuity might be different, right?
Yeah, because he does exist in the DC continuity, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner's just throwing punches at Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan blocks, like just covers up, and eventually Guy Gardner gets tired, and Hal Jordan knocks him down, knocks him out,
yeah,
gives him a hand. Well, he puts his hand to Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner goes, "All right, Hal Jordan, you got me. I'll shake your stupid hand." And Hal Jordan's like, "No, the ring, give it to me." And yeah, that's how Guy Gardner loses the ring, and then he gets his three-issue prestige format series where he's Guy Gardner with no power,
yeah,
no nothing, with a big massive G on his suit, tricks Lobo into help breaking into Oa, so he
yeah,
can then go to Sinestro's, because Sinestro's dead at this point. Sinestro's grave or whatever it is,
yeah,
the prison where his body is,
yeah,
and then he fights Sinestro's ghost in the astral plane or something like that. for control of the yellow ring. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to put that down on the list, or you can read it?
Yeah, I want to read this insanity. Yeah.
It's not as insane as it sounds, actually. It's kind of pretty more straightforward, but it's just not. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of Guy Gardner as the actual lead.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
launched his own series, which lasted however long it needed to last before they. You know when Hal Jordan went insane and went into be Parallax?
Yeah.
You read Emerald Twilight, right?
I may have. I
Emerald
can't
Twilight being the
remember.
3 issue series that Hal Jordan basically recreates Coast City, and then he
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah. I read that. Yeah.
so in between that somewhere,
Mm.
I think just after he's Parallax, but before Zero Hour,
Yeah.
Guy Gardner and John Stewart and Alan Scott tried to stop him on Oa, and he beats
Yeah.
them all up as well.
Ah.
Yeah, that's in a guy. That's a Guy Gardner special book,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's in the Guy Gardner series, and yeah, that's how Guy Gardner loses his yellow ring, and then they just decide to retcon him with, oh, he's got the warrior genes, the not
Yeah.
the Ultimate Warrior,
No.
the
Some
alien genes
alien
that
race in it.
yeah that he
Yeah.
never knew he had before, whatever.
Yeah. Which has
Yeah.
never been brought up ever again. But yeah.
To be fair, yeah, because when he got the Green Lantern ring, it purged him. It purged it from his genes or whatever. Um, all I can say is
Okay.
fair dues to them for doing that because it's like, look, you try to keep Guile kind of relevant, but you just try to all the most, I don't want to say the phoniest ways, but at least John Stewart was a Dark Star, which is
Yeah.
more the equivalent of the Nova Corps in DC.
Yeah.
They try to keep the limelight on the boys, but yeah, Guile has just gotten the bad end of the stick
Yeah.
at
So
times.
a bit
Yeah.
silly. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
We spoke about it before, but Batman the Cult, Deacon Blackfire, yeah. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how much have you heard of this guy?
Not much. The only time I sort of knew he existed
Yeah.
was he's one of the secret characters you meet in Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
So
like,
his
oh,
backstory
okay.
is similar to that. I think in fact, he's just a one-off in this story. I know he comes back as a ghost or something like that, right? But
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. You got the homeless people who's leading the cult and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
quite a I don't want to say it's a weird story, right?
Yeah.
But it's yeah, he captures Batman and keeps him in the sewers for months, and it makes Batman shoot people. Well, first of all, it starts as hallucinations, right? But he does actually
Yeah.
break the Batman mentally at some point, and then Jason Todd is Robin. This is one of the few stories that Jason Todd is actually Robin,
Okay.
and Robin has to rescue Batman and bring him back to his senses.
Is this canon?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. Why, why,
Huh.
why, why? Because Batman kills someone, right?
No, because Batman disappears for months. Yeah, like,
Well,
it's like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't know how long. He disappears for an extended
A
amount
certain
of
amount of
time.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They don't say specifically. I think it is 6 months, but I'm mixing up with another story. They disappeared for 6 months for um that. Like you say, he's just like, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah, it's like,
6 months is a
wait.
long time.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure by like night two, Alfred and like whoever the Robin at the time be like, where is
Yeah,
Bruce?
yeah. He never told us he's leaving the city or anything like that, and
Yeah,
he's the most what do you call it? Not paranoid.
I was about to say that, but yeah, I
Yeah,
knew
no,
you.
but it is because he let everyone know all sorts of stuff if he's going somewhere, and then
Yeah,
not tell people if he specifically wants to keep them all secret from them.
yeah,
So it's consistent but inconsistent.
and like I'm pretty sure Alfred probably has like a tracker in him. So
Yeah, yeah. I know that Bruce had probably two trackers in Alfred
yeah,
just to
so
be double.
okay, I guess.
Yeah, but I read the cult. It's yeah. Even the guy draws to hallucinations as well, so it's a bit wildly drawn. I can.
Okay,
No.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Have you heard of the DC Challenge? Because this is one, right? This is one. If you haven't heard of it, I do want to have a look at, and you'll probably be intrigued after I explain it.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So the DC Challenge back in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
The gimmick was, because they always have gimmicks for this, it's a
Yeah.
12 issue limited series.
Okay.
One artist and one writer write an issue. The following issue is another writer and another artist, and they've got to conclude the previous issue's cliffhanger.
Okay.
So this goes on for like 11 issues until the 12th one where they all group together
Yeah.
and try to work out a conclusion to the story. That's just gone crazy at this point because no one knows exactly what other people have been doing and how they're going to follow it. Because there's been no
Yeah.
follow along. So people
Interesting.
drop things out of nowhere sometimes to conclude whatever they need to conclude.
Yeah.
And they write some other thing for someone else, and they've got to be like, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to fix this?" Yeah.
Oh wow.
It didn't go down well. It didn't
I
go
can
down-
imagine.
Yeah. But it's a train wreck.
But it sounds like a glorious train wreck. So
Yeah, exactly. Because they'll use whatever the characters they need to
yeah.
fulfill whatever it is. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm so damn intrigued to see how such a mess happened.
That'd be hilarious.
They resurrected this the DC challenge for Commandy. You know,
Of
the
course
last
they
one.
did. Yeah.
They did a 12. I think it was a 12 issue Commandy DC challenge.
Yeah.
More people doing it. But yeah, I just want to see. First, I want to see the original one in the 80s because crazy as these things are, you know.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like to be a barrel of laughs.
Well, we might be reading it and go, what were these people on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What drugs were they smoking?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm up for it. I'm up for it.
Oh, geez. Any particular storylines you have got in mind?
I thought about this to.
They have to
Sorry?
be as wild as the ones I've mentioned.
Yeah, well, one of them is wild and possibly killed the franchise. Marvel. Oh, sorry, the Ultimate Universe Ultimatum.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which even then people were like, because this was in the throes of everything's got to be edgy and whatever. Even this, people were like, why?
Oh, this story. This is the one where Magneto decided to just flood the entire world, right?
Yeah, but if you want to
Yeah.
give you even more backstory to this terrible Buffalo comic,
Well, do it, but without spoiling anything too much, right? Because we probably have to go through it again and yeah. And there's lots of stupidity that happens. So don't just spoil the main stupidity.
no, I'm saying that if you want, so you can get more out of it. I'm not going to tell you it, but we could read Ultimates 3.
Oh my goodness, you want to lump it together in one big story?
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
It will give contents to it, but then also be like, why did they think this would be something to do?
All right, hold on. Do you want to sling in their Ultimates 1 and 2 at some point, or you just want to go straight to this? Because Ultimates 1 and 2 are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'm saying we could do, because we could see.
They're more like, funny enough, I think some of them it's like more mindless action movies at some point.
Yeah.
In the Ultimates, but it's gloriously widescreen action, in your face.
Yeah.
I think the Ultimates 1 is mainly what the Avengers is.
Yeah, it is. We could do, because then we can do it as like where it was at its high point, and then where it dropped off into.
Okay.
Ugh,
Okay.
Who ripped this?
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just remember. So Ultimates 1 is basically Avengers from 2012. 12.
Yeah.
Um,
With slight changes.
Ultimates 2. They had a pretty decent fight with Thor, and then Thor just beat up the countries that weren't signed to the War on Terror.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, fine. Captain France is getting beaten up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Bit
Yeah, and then we get to the mess that's Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum. Oh, my good lord. It's funny enough, I think they had good artwork, right?
Yeah.
Also, I have to say as well, Jeff Loeb's son died during this time. And I
What
think,
is it?
Yeah. And that's why Ultimates and Ultimatum, I think, were his way he was grieving in his writing.
Yeah.
But then he started doing stuff to do stuff to the characters to make them, I don't want to say feel the same way he was feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, not that it didn't make, look, the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to make. I want to say it in a way that doesn't sound insensitive, but it's just I think what he was doing, story-wise, didn't make a lot of sense.
No, it didn't.
No, not at all. It was just I think he was devastated by the loss of his son, and therefore he was trying to, yeah, not devastate the world or anything like that, vengeance, but just like, oh, you know what? These other characters will be in the same situation as me if half their
yeah
world is lost or whatever. So let's see how they deal with it. Except that it turned a bit nutty.
Yeah, it did. A lot of characters were out of character. Yeah.
And funny enough, in Ultimate 3, they jumped back into their classic costumes, which made no sense because the Ultimate costumes are more, I don't want to say modernized at that point, but they're more, I don't even want to say realistic, right? But
it was more for that universe.
Yeah. Grounded, gritty kind of style costumes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say necessarily black leather, but less colorful and outlandish.
Yeah, it's made a lot of that made no sense, and then a lot of it kind of, I felt bad because a lot of it went on to mess up other Ultimate titles like Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men.
The thing is with Ultimate Spider-Man, I think it managed to skirt all of that mostly because of how good Bendis was as a writer, dialogue-wise. Because I always enjoyed Ultimate Spider-Man, even if nothing happened in certain particular issues action-wise. It's very enjoyable to read because the characters were fun.
Yeah.
But the other titles, on the other hand, I think Ultimatum kind of Fantastic Four, Ultimate Fantastic Four got the
short end of that stick. Yeah. So did Ultimate X-Men, because basically most of the main X-Men people died in Ultimatum. So
Ultimate X-Men then became Ultimate X, not the two ropes across the pillars thing.
Yeah.
That the X division did. It's like Ultimate X, what?
Yeah. Then that was just a setup to a new character. Then Ultimate X-Men came, which was pretty good. No, sorry, Ultimate Comics X-Men came. Yeah. Which is pretty good. But it just...
I mean, look, what I'm going to say about the Ultimates is it's going to start well and then it's just going to take a nosedive. Did you ever read Maximum Carnage in 1994?
Yeah, but I didn't read it in 1994.
So you went back when I was a kid reading this, about over 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. And then I'm looking at what people are saying now, and it's like it was never as good as you thought it was when you were when you read it when you're an adult. So I'm just gonna have a look at that. I just want to have a retrospective on that to see if it's as good as I always thought it was, or if it's just like, I don't know, nostalgia.
I think it's a bit of column A, bit of column B, because I read it, I want to say about less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but also found bits of it super long. Like, I don't know how we got to this point. Yeah. Why are you going this far?
Yeah. All I remember is they created some sort of love beam to cancel out Carnage's hate. What?
Yeah. Crazy 90s, man.
Love Cat. I love not Love Cat. Like not like a love, like it's an X-rated film sort of thing, but more like to reduce the rage. What's the opposite of rage? Whatever. Embrace the people. I don't know.
Yeah. Changing the polarity of someone's heart. I ain't got it.
Yeah. Who knows exactly? And I'm just gonna, when I reread it, I'll be like, is this still as silly as I remember it?
Worst case scenario, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know, but I think I enjoyed it. If I'm honest.
Yeah. We might think like as we're older now and we look back at it, we might think twice about how awesome it was.
Yeah.
And actually, make fun of it because you can now.
You can now, yeah.
Have you read Daredevil, Man Without Fear, the miniseries?
No.
Okay, so you've seen Daredevil season 1 on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen season 1. Yeah.
This Daredevil Man Without Fear is basically what season 1 is based on.
Okay.
So it's not,
Interesting.
yeah, it's based on it. It takes elements from it. It's not 100% it because the storyline is going to be different, right?
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
it's the ninja in the black mask sort of thing.
Okay. Before he got all the fancy costume and whatnot. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So by the end of this, no spoiler, because it's just like the series.
Yeah.
The final 2 pages is where he makes his costume.
Okay.
Yeah, and he doesn't really wear black mask throughout the most of the thing. I think it's the last couple of last three, maybe the last 2 or 3 issues. He's wearing like that kind of tracksuit costume.
Yeah, yeah,
The first 2 issues are kind of the when he was a kid, when he was training with Stick,
yeah.
and then it goes into the storyline. Nothing major, just like Kingpin's involved, but it's cursory because it's just like how you set up that threat for this threat to meet later on, but they're never going to meet in that particular story.
Okay. Oh, you have sold
Uh,
me on this.
yeah, and Daredevil Born Again. Do you know about that?
When did that come out?
Okay, so Daredevil Man Without Fear is 1993, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Daredevil Born Again was 87,
Okay.
86, 87, I think. This is basically what Daredevil season 3 was based on.
Okay. I haven't seen season 3, so
Oh
okay.
yeah. Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything, right?
Yeah,
But if you watch season 3,
yeah,
it's not exactly based on this, right? But they took elements of it as well, and be like, if they exactly did what the comic, I think it would have been more epic season 3, even though season 3 is good.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. But right, okay. I don't want to spoil it for you because it's actually really good, but at the same time, I don't know how much I could tell you.
Oh, it's one of those situations. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I want
Okay,
to see it.
but let me just tell you this, right?
Yeah,
Daredevil, the character in the costume,
yeah.
is not particularly involved in this story.
Is it
It's
more
Matt
Matt
Murdock.
Murdock? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting, interesting.
yeah,
Old Matty boy.
yeah. And this is where he first meets his mother.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is his twin brother involved?
No, no, he doesn't exist. No, no.
Oh
Mike
gosh.
Murdock doesn't exist at this point. Remember, they used a reality stone
Yeah,
to alter that, but so he never existed at this point. Even though prior to this in the '60s, he kind of existed because Matt pretended to be him.
yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, I think you should definitely check out Daredevil Born Again and Daredevil Man Without Fear.
Okay,
Um,
for sure, for sure, for sure, definitely.
okay. Any storylines? Like I know I've got a good couple listed here, but I want to give you a chance to speak. I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, all my storylines.
Yeah. One that it was actually even reading it then it did confuse me, and I would like to read it again just to see if it still confuses me.
Okay.
Batman R.I.P.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Our boy Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because like
Uh,
I enjoyed it, but I didn't also get it.
yes, yes, yes. It's a strange one at that because funny enough, it's called Batman R.I.P. But he doesn't really. It's more like this concludes in his own series, except that Final Crisis is where he actually dies.
Yeah.
So you could skip Final Crisis and pretend that he dies here
Yeah.
if you want.
But then the return of Bruce Wayne wouldn't make sense then.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
If you were just collecting Batman,
Yeah.
it'd be. But then I think there's yeah. You include the Batman R.E.P. Aftermath. I think it's a 2 issue Aftermath or something like that in this.
Is that where they have the weird funeral but isn't the funeral?
Oh no, no, that's whatever happened to the Cape Crusader.
That was it.
I think
Yeah.
Aftermath or something like whatever it's called is just after he comes back after Batman R.I.P. Or he's just saying Batman, read Batman R.I.P. and that'd be that.
Because I don't know, this aftermath thing sounds intriguing because I can't actually remember if I read it or not. So yeah, okay. I don't know.
Right, hold on, let me have a quick look. Yeah. It's not. It's definitely. I know what you mean. There's one called Whatever Happened to Cape Crusader by Neil Gaiman, but it's not that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh.
But yeah, okay. So on Wikipedia it says that the prologue ends where Batman R.I.P. ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a couple of there's yeah
Okay.
one or two issues that just concludes everything.
Because I remember Battle for the Cowl, another one I want to read again.
Oh, Battle for the Cow.
Yeah. Even though a lot of characters are a bit out of place, but then it kind of makes sense now looking at it why some characters seem out of place.
Like our boy Jason Todd.
Yeah, because obviously, I just realised now, yeah, he's dealing with dad issues, so that makes sense why he's a bit rawr. But then it kind of contradicts. I never liked Grant Morrison's take on Jason Todd anyway, so I'll just glance over that.
Yeah.
Because it made no sense. Why did he?
Yeah, so Batman R.I.P. The storyline is called Last Rites.
Yeah.
So are we saying that in Batman R.I.P. includes Last Rites?
But isn't Last Rites the kind of tie-ins with every other character? Like with the Nightwing stuff
right.
and...
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be thinking of then Batman R.I.P. It's called The Missing Chapter, which is Batman 701 to 702. Maybe I'm thinking of that.
Could be. Because I remember Last Rites being like in Robin and Nightwing.
And yeah. You're right. Looking at it now. Yeah. So I'm probably thinking of the what they call the Missing Chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, you want to look for Battle? Okay. So, well, we're splitting those in two.
Yeah.
Or are we? Okay.
Actually, what do you think?
Because Battle for the Cowl is 3 issues.
Yeah, it's only 3 issues. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Should we have a look when we do that? Let's see if there's anything that concludes with Battle for the Cowl.
Yeah.
Because if you want, we could do Batman, Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. But if Batman R.I.P., we could just lump it all together maybe as well at the same time.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
A big discussion about it.
Yeah. Let's see what's most convenient when we go.
Yeah. All right. We can do that.
All right. I've got Civil War here.
I was literally just looking at that. I was going to bring it up as well. All right.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? There's a lot of problems. When I'm looking back at it, I'm like, man, this Mark Miller just wanted one side to fight another side, and it's like screw whatever personality you're having, screw the ability to actually speak out and say, yo, let's just come to a little meeting here and sort out our issues. Nah, we talk with our fists.
Yeah, we talk with our fists, son. Yeah, and then
we can actually compare it to the movie because the movie done it way better, I think.
Yeah.
Because they weren't fighting for the sake of fighting. At least they had reasons, and also, yes, they could have just decided to go to a meeting and spoke to each other. But I think some like, okay, the General Thunderbolt Ross was like so pig-headed in what he was going to do that they were going to inevitably
be a fight anyway.
Clash anyways, yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's do Civil War. A comic, like you said, I believe has not really aged well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main, I'd say the comic, the premise of why does make sense.
Yeah.
Except that it had to make the New Warriors be stupid punks.
Yeah.
For a reality TV show, to make that happen, to make them like destroy let Nitro then destroy all those bunch of school kids.
Yeah.
Then Speedball turns into Penance, and you're like, oh my goodness, whatever.
Yeah. But for me, because I had no connection to New Warriors. It was nothing to me. It was like, oh, okay, cool. But I can see why people who had the connection be like, hey, that's really our character.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah. It's strange enough, like, I mean, the movie had way less characters because this Civil War at this point was 2007, so the Marvel Universe had been around for
donkey years.
40 plus years.
Yeah.
And they involved the entire Marvel universe, technically,
Yeah.
one side versus the other side.
Yeah.
And yeah. Even then, one side decided to pick a whole bunch of villains fighting their side, Suicide Squad style.
Yeah. Thunderbolts, baby. Yeah.
And it's just like, well, okay. But at least, look, the title makes sense. But it's just...
Ooh.
Look, there's ways that it could have been better, right?
Yeah. There's if hindsight was 2020, yeah, there's lots of ways it could have been better. Yeah. But I see what they was going for.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was basically it succeeded whatever it was doing, which was superheroes going to fight each other.
Yeah.
Can't argue that point.
But at least this, like, them fighting each other was more than a misunderstanding. At least this was like for ideological reasons. Like, you believe this.
Here's the issue with that: is just when I'm gonna fabricate a law that will happen.
Yeah.
Just because I decided that I want it to happen.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna get the opposition saying, "Oh no, you're just making this stuff up on the spot and decided that these people are criminals because they're not following what you're saying." Like, yeah, but who has the power to just decide? Okay, everyone, if you don't follow me or my side or my words, you are the criminals. It's like, when a king's gone mad with his power.
Hitler did it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you ever hear the story of I think it was King Henry VIII or VII. I'm not sure exactly, but how they got people to pay to increase taxes.
How?
Okay, so one of his advisors.
Yeah.
It's a very shady thing, right? But one of his advisors was like, "Oh, we can increase taxes because the rich people can afford to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
They got money.
Yeah.
And the poor people, well, they've saved the money because they haven't spent it. Therefore, they can afford to pay taxes." And you're like,
wait.
But there was a reason for it. I think they need to temporarily increase taxes for some sort of reason, right?
Okay.
But then when things happen, when they increase, they never decrease back.
No.
But yeah, that's the logic they applied, right? To get people to pay more tax. Like, wait a minute. And if you don't pay tax, you go to jail. Whatever gets seized and things like, okay, well, I've just decided to make a law that benefits me. And declare everyone else a criminal or whatever if they don't follow it.
That's super stupid. Well, all right. What? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Which also kind of slightly follows on to the next one. Kingdom Come. You must have read it, right? DC
yeah,
Kingdom
of course. Come. Of course, I've read it.
Yeah. Where they outlaw heroes, kind of.
Yeah, because heroes become jerks and they're just openly fighting everyone.
Yeah. So the story is Superman's way of being a superhero is outdated. Well, okay. Joker kills Lois Lane and gasses the entire Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Superman stops, too late to stop the Joker, but he doesn't kill the Joker. It's like, because he's Superman, right?
Yeah.
Like Goldstein murders the Joker and says, "Superman, you're a punk. Your way doesn't work no more.
Yeah.
I'm the Lord and Master of the DC universe now.
Yeah,
they all push me.
I'm fake Cable. Blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Because isn't he from the future as well? Some dumb thing like that.
Well, yeah. Well, I tell you what. Yes and no, right?
Yeah.
It does kind of follow on from that, but it doesn't really.
Okay. Yeah.
Because after he gets, Superman goes off. He's like, "I've had enough of this crap."
Yeah.
Right. Just leaves the world, to do a farm for like, however many years is it?
About 30 years or something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the oddity. I don't think it's that long because I know Magog's kind of an old man at that point, but he causes a fight, which then when someone explodes and causes an eradicated wasteland.
Yeah.
And I think he prematurely ages because he's like wandering the wasteland going, "What have I done?
Yeah.
My way is not wrong. So, I mean, it's not right." So he's like begging for forgiveness to a degree or something like that. Anyways, so I think that prematurely ages him makes him look older than he is. But I don't know if there's alternate versions of him that comes from a different future as well. because there's a kingdom that's the follow up to it, and it's just like a bit weird. But yeah, so then after that, was it the outlaw? Did they really outlaw superheroes? I can't remember exactly.
No, I don't think they outlaw superheroes, but they're just fighting each other and stuff. And then that's when, is it Batman or someone wants to sort of...
Yeah. So it's the old generation, the new generation of heroes, because this takes place, 30 years after whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the old generation are trying to stop the new generation because they're a bit more rough and ready. Yeah. Beat up, fight first, ask questions later, which causes all this destruction.
Yeah.
And when they go to Tangle, Batman and the Outsiders join in.
Yeah.
But Batman's group just trying to keep the peace. Just like, you know what, they're going to cause mass destruction, right? A lot of them.
Yeah.
Try to contain as much as possible. So it's a really good story.
Yeah, I really
Marvel
enjoyed it.
I do enjoy the portrayal of Captain Marvel. When he's not mind control, but I'm just saying he's a major character here.
Yeah, because he's a nutcase.
I would like to see a Kingdom Come miniseries.
What do you mean, as in like comic or?
No, HBO Max or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like even if they do like a 3-hour movie or something like that, but just like broke into sections. I think it could be, depending on the budget, they can just make it 4 episodes or something like that. But knowing how they went their numbers for the series, they'll probably boost up to 10 episodes or something like that.
What they should do, and I think it will work a lot better and probably be a lot cheaper for them, was to do it either as an animated movie or series, because then you can do everything.
Yeah. Depend. Well, that's the thing. Like you say, it might be a lot cheaper considering how many costumes they've got to make, effects and all that stuff. I really would like it to see live action because if any Brandon Routh's Superman Kingdom Come version in Crisis on Infinite Earths was really well done. So it'd be good to see, like, you already set up the character.
Yeah.
Like to either follow through or see what's prior to that. Depending on where Kingdom Come slots in. It seems like it just slots in. Crisis on Infinite Earths happens after Kingdom Come, according to the Arrowverse canon.
Is it?
Yeah, because he's already working back at the Daily Planet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'd think about that one. Yeah. But the problem with that as well, I don't know if they will touch upon that because that's a CW thing, and you know how they try to pretend that the CW doesn't really exist.
Yeah, it's an awkward one with Okay. DC, the media division, I want to call it, but that's it's cool that you can have alternate worlds and stuff like that. You don't need to do it like Marvel, right? Don't need to make everything all streamlined because that gets a bit murky on Marvel's part. Does Daredevil, does the Netflix series exist or not? Does Inhumans exist? What about Cloak and Dagger and
the Runaways and all that?
Yeah. Exactly. And Son of Satan.
Yeah. Which got cancelled, did it? Did it not?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's like, which Ghost Rider is relevant? Like, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even in continuity? Or what they're saying now, by the way, of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, I think the first 5 seasons are, and then when they start time traveling, traveling, they land in an alternate universe because they weren't told of the snap.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to write it in if we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's when they dropped the ball. I was like, dude, man, Agent S.H.I.E.L.D.'s a good show. Why don't you just keep them in a loop?
Yeah, and not even if keep them in a loop, but just say, look, you have to skip your show X amount of time.
Yeah.
Or make it take place, something happens, be ambiguous as to when these people came back from wherever they were. Done.
Yeah, but hey, I don't know. Left hand doesn't talk to the right hand, which is really silly.
But speaking of multi-dimensional travel and all that stuff, have you read Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah.
Do you want to reread it again? Oh, because yeah, it's a very murky one, right? The problem is this, right? The series was done to clean up the DC universe because they had loads of multi-dimensional universes like F, A, F, B, F 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So this is just like wipe the slate clean and make Earth prime. The problem is, even when you're talking about it, right? There's specific Earths you might have to reference that certain things happen. It's like a lot of backstory you need to do just to tell the main story. Or if you're just going to streamline it, it is very streamlined. You know, you can't really say, okay, this happens to this happen. It's just like, well, this point happens, that point happens. And it could make it really small if you remove the different, like, Earths backstories you don't need to tell the story.
Yeah.
Do you want to, okay, tell you what, should we put that as a question mark for the moment?
No, I can read it because I'd like to read it again because it's hilarious.
All right. Okay.
Hey. Even though I do prefer Infinite Crisis, in my honest opinion.
Oh, do you want to read that as well?
Yeah, sure. I love reading that book.
You know what? I did like the idea of Infinite Crisis because there's a lot of crisis happening at the same time as per the story, including, by the way, the four issue miniseries that happened prior to it.
What, prelude to Infinite Crisis?
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff was good as well because that's like with what's his face getting killed, Blue Beetle, right, and Wonder Woman snapping what's his name, Maxwell Lord. Yeah, that's pretty good build up.
Okay, hold on. I'm not sure specifically if those. No, okay, hold on. Right.
Because isn't there one with Zoom? He's a part of it where he punches someone like 1,000 times in the face in a second.
I can't remember. So it's four 6-issue miniseries. One's the OMAP project, right?
Okay, yeah.
One's the Rand Thagnar War. One's State of Vengeance.
Yeah.
And the other is Villains United.
I think that's what I'm talking about.
And then there's the 4-part limited series DC Special Return of Donna Troy. Oh, good lord.
Oh yeah, I've got that in a Teen Titans comic.
Yeah. To be fair, and actually I did collect all of those. I do remember Day of the Vengeance most because it took like magic characters which didn't have the spotlight on them and put the spotlight on them. Ragman, the monkey, Detective Chimp.
Yeah. And what was his name? And that angel dude. I want to say
Zuriel?
Yeah, we go. Yeah. How do I remember that?
What? Oh, you know, it's a funny story about Zuriel.
What?
Right. When Grant Morrison was writing Justice League, he wanted to use Hawkman, but Hawkman's history was such a mess because they had Hawkman, and then they had another Hawkman. But because the problem is with Crisis on Infinite Earths, there wasn't a set deadline for when everything was going to revert to Earth Prime. Some people continue to write stories as though they were on the past Earths, and new people writing stories as though the Earth Prime was happening. And Hawkman appeared in both.
Ooh.
So then they had to say, okay, well, that Hawkman is not a Hawkman. That one's a spy. But that one's a Ragnar spy called Cartor, not Castle Hall, Cartor.
Oh, God.
And then it just became... and then we retcon the history of Hawkman. They keep on getting reincarnated. And then, and then it was such a mess that like, forget Hawkman. We're gonna cordon off Hawkman. No one can write anything about Hawkman until we sort this out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Grant Morrison, you cannot use Hawkman. Make someone else up or whatever. And you go, okay, I'm fine. I'll just make Zuriel.
Oh wow. As I say, this is why Hawkman's got a weird fan base.
But you were saying about one of the other stories. What was it? You were saying about one of the lead ups to Infinite Crisis.
One of them, I remember briefly. Like someone's looking for Zoom, and they go back in time to find him. when the volcano in Pompeii erupted, and he goes, "Yeah, I just spent my time watching old disasters," and I'm like, "Okay, that's not weird at all." And then I think Wonder Woman's teaming up with someone. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
And she starts fighting Zoom, and he literally just runs up to her, punches like her 1,000 times in the face in a second, and like her whole face just swells up.
Yeah.
Because of obviously that. But I can't actually remember who else was in there.
Was that Cheetah and Wally West Flash?
It could have been.
I think that was in. And that was when after Wonder Woman blinded herself because she was fighting Medusa and she didn't want to get turned into stone.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that was. I can't remember exactly, but I don't think it was part of Infinite Crisis.
Oh, the story I'm talking about, because I remember the book actually says Tales leading to Infinite Crisis, something like that. I got to find it somewhere. Really? Yeah, so. Okay. I don't think she blinded herself then. I can't remember. This was like...
Well, you'll probably find out at some point, and then we have to... maybe I'm mistaken. But I can only remember one instance where Wonder Woman was fighting Zoom. Except there was one panel in Infinite Crisis where Zoom was fighting Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he fights the Justice Society. No, the Freedom Fighters. Zoom is amazing. Yeah.
Speaking of Zoom, I guess we should... list down Blitz, right?
Yeah, of course, man.
Do you want to include? How are we going to include Hunter Zolomon's turn to, like, what? But after he destroys the where he tries to use the cosmic treadmill. So, because Blitz is only 4 issues.
Because Blitz is like the end of that whole arc, isn't it?
Yeah. But I when does the arc start?
I can't remember.
All right. Well, you know what? We might just throw in some stuff prior to the actual Blitz. Maybe the relevant issues of the Flash that lead up to Blitz, right? Because I think at the beginning of Blitz, he's waking up from the whatever coma he was in.
Yeah, and that's when he realizes he has the powers, isn't it?
Yeah. That was really good, actually, Blitz, as a 4-issue series. And I really liked how they tweaked Zoom's powers. Where,
that's time rather than speed.
He used the cosmic treadmill as a base human, and fused it with a random wormhole because it exploded. Cosmic treadmill was used to time travel in the Flash.
Yeah.
And so then he was frozen on the spot, except that it wasn't. When he lifted him out of the explosion, whatever, he was stuck, but that's because he was moving so fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like you say, he started waking up at the beginning of Blitz. Decided to become Zoom because every Flash needs a reverse Flash, and I can make Wally West a better hero if he knows tragedy like I did.
Which is
the logic kind of sounds, except that because he's a criminal profiler, you're like, right, but you kind of jumped a few steps here.
Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah, you're like, dude, you went a bit too far. Okay, sure, I guess he's your best friend.
Yeah. So I did, like you say, it's quite ingenious how they made his version of the Reverse Flash not Speed Force related and actually beyond their speed.
Yeah, because technically he's faster than him, right? If it's time. Yeah.
Because he moves time around him.
Yeah.
Except that what I really liked as well is their tricks they can use on the Speed Force.
Yeah.
That Zoom can't because he's only tied to manipulating time.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you've read it. Have you read? Matt, there's a lot of good Flash storylines, and I don't know how far you read. Actually, okay, I'll just speak to the one that's relevant to Blitz first.
Yeah.
Have you read Terminal Velocity?
Is that the one with the clip? The snap. Because I don't want to spoil anything. And someone. He does a sonic boom and it affects someone.
No, that's in Blitz. That's still in Blitz.
Okay, I thought the Blitz was the end where he goes back in time again to fight Zoom and he stops the click.
Oh no, that's not Terminal Velocity. No.
Okay.
Speaking about the storyline after Blitz, I think that's Rogue War,
I think that's
where
before, isn't it?
uh, where where Zoom where okay, so something happens like this Blitz finishes, and then the Return of Hunter Zolomon is I think isn't it Rogue War?
Can't remember. I have all these somewhere
Yeah, it was
in
the
different
thing is
levels.
these storylines were like what 2003 was it?
No, I think 2000. It was literally just before Infinite Crisis, so it'd been 2005.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, Rogue War is yeah where he comes back, where Zoom comes back.
Yeah.
So that's not the one you're speaking of, though.
Okay.
No. Is it the one you were meaning, or were you saying?
I can't. I can't legit remember.
Okay, so um, Terminal Velocity was in 1994,
Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking of something completely different. Yeah.
and it's basically okay. It ties into another story, right? The
Okay.
previous story is the Return of Barry Allen, right? Where
Yeah.
which you should read, by the way, because it's Wally West stepping out of Barry Allen's shadow.
I think I have.
Yeah. And Terminal Velocity is where not only he steps out of Barry Allen's shadow, but he's like his own man at this point,
Yeah.
beyond the speed of Barry ever was. You know, the started the whole existence of the Speed Force and all that stuff.
Okay.
Where yeah, it's just more of he's gonna die at some point in Terminal. Like the Speed Force is gonna absorb him.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because he's going too far, not going too fast, but he's reached that point where it's saying, you know, come Wally West, join us, and we will be invincible. No, you know, um, yeah. So he trying to keep himself under a certain speed,
Yeah.
except that because Max Mercury's there, and it's like, what happens is if you hit the Speed Force, it will jump you to the future. Like if you don't get absorbed into it, right? As all the it's like the speed's the place of rest, heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barry Allen ran into it during Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Max Mercury had a couple of doubts when he was running out of speed, so he
Yeah.
kept on jumping to like a good maybe like a few decades into the future each time. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and so it's like if you get absorbed in it, you never come back. Except of course,
Hmm.
I'm not spoiling anything because Wally West was still a Flash after this, and you know this is
Yeah.
994. So yeah, but it's a really good story. You should definitely check that one
I'll
out.
check that out.
This is where you know in Blitz where Jesse Quick gives him the speed ability,
Yeah.
and time freezes.
Yeah.
In Terminal Velocity, this is like the second instance of him using that because there's just prior to Terminal Velocity,
Yeah.
Flash 91, he
Yeah.
uses it and he
Okay.
freezes time.
Yeah.
And it's like, how am I supposed to like I combine the Speed Force powers with the speed equation.
Oh yeah, the speed
Then
equation.
I
Talk about.
and it's basically the entire world is frozen around him.
Oh snap.
And then he's like, I can never do this again. Except, of course, when he needs to do it in Terminal Velocity.
He does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I didn't know about that.
yeah. There's actually like several Flash storylines here, but you can tell me whenever. We can slot them in whenever.
Okay. Okay.
I only bring them up because they're relevant to the Flash series, which you have seen.
Yeah.
Flash Dead Heat. This is the first appearance of Savitar.
Okay.
Not Savitar from season 3 of the Flash, where he's evil Barry Allen from a speed remnant or whatever, right?
Season 4. Go on.
Season 4. No, is it 3 or 4?
It's pretty sure it's 4.
Is it 4? Who's the villain in
Right.
season 3?
Good point. Let me. While you're talking that, I'll find out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure season 3. And yeah, this yeah. So Savitar storyline completely altered. Here is just basically a guy who creates the cult of speed because he knows about the Speed Force and he has this super speed abilities.
Yeah.
He was a World War One pilot, I think,
Okay.
on the jet, and the Speed Force lightning hit him while he was in the jet,
Yeah.
and yeah, then then he had the speed abilities, and you know how everyone has a reverse flash.
Oh, you're right. Season 3, yeah, it is Savitar. So who's the
Yeah.
bad
So
guy
you
in season 4? Sorry.
yeah. So he's got no backstory, but which is good. The only backstory is that he was a fighter pilot at some point,
Yeah.
right? And they left the mystery of him because it's like a one-off issue. He wasn't meant to come back, and he didn't need to come back,
Yeah.
right? Except that I think later on now he's coming back. Anyways, you know how all the Flashes have like a opposition reverse Flash.
Yeah, yeah,
So Wally West is in tune with the Speed Force
yeah.
and the pinnacle speed, essentially. And then Zoom is his like opposite number. It's like, I'm not even using the Speed Force. I'm using time now. I'm beyond your speed, right?
Yeah.
You had Barry Allen and Professor Zoom
Yeah.
as a reverse Flash. It's like, you know, you've got the positive Speed Force. I've got a negative Speed Force. And I'm just going to destroy your life by altering time.
Yeah.
Because you made me and I made you. Sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Barry Allen inspired U-Boat Thorn to become the Flash.
Yeah.
And then I think Barry Allen went to the future and exposed the Flash as causing the crime so he can save them.
Yeah.
Then it's causing U-Boat Thorn to go, I forsake you, Barry Allen. I will become the reverse Flash. And then I will go back in time and kill your mom. So I create you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sure. It's all right.
And Jay Garrick had the rival.
Yeah.
Which okay, so Jay Garrick somehow hard water fumes, which they make fun of now because they're like, what the hell is hard water fumes that make you?
It makes no sense.
Yeah, when you inhale it, you become, you have super speed, whatever. I think they made Jay Garrick a metahuman afterwards and said there was a lightning storm around the same time as well, so it opened up. He's got natural super speed.
Yeah, that's why he can't technically get into the Speed Force, whatever it is. Yeah.
Exactly. The hard water plus the lightning storm, whatever, allows him to, anyways, he's got the rival Flash, which made the 2 appearances. I think one where they make that Velocity 9 in the Flash TV series.
Yeah.
He made the equivalent of it in the 40s.
Okay.
And then it ran out, so then he got caught, and then he decided to have a go at Jay Garrick again.
Yeah.
Except that he ran so fast, he disappeared. Right?
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And then because Speed Force didn't exist at that time, he just ran fast and disappeared. Right. 50 years later, it's like he ran into the Speed Force, except that because his speed was artificially created.
Yeah.
He was driven insane.
Okay, that's a good.
He wasn't. The Speed Force didn't want him.
Okay.
So he jumped into the future. Like, he got spat out. Now you're crazy. Started murdering people. Anyways, yeah. And Sabotage is what you would be Max Mercury's opposite number, where it's all about the Zen of speed.
Yeah.
That, one guy's created a cult of it. And then he's trying to give speed to his disciples.
Yeah, who end up dying, right?
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, Dead Heat is pretty good. Because Sabotage and Max Mercury have clashed multiple times within the story.
Okay.
And it's funny how you like these Flash stories. He's got super speed, so how can anything be a threat to him?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think Wally West never had a definitive villain for his series.
Yeah, until Zoom, innit?
Yeah, until Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had these other guys, like Professor Zoom came back to muck about with Wally for a little bit.
Yeah.
Savitar came back to Savitar was created as a evil speedster as well.
Yeah.
I think actually what's funny is when you look at Wally West and Barry Allen's way of interacting with the Rogues.
Yeah.
Wally was more of I don't want to say a rival to them, right? He'll stop them. They commit crimes, he stop them. But their relationship is more like rivals, yeah?
Yeah.
Because they're like, you know what, Wally, fine, right?
Yeah.
Not like they're so friends. It's like, I'll commit crimes, you stop me. That's how we're gonna do our business, right?
Yeah, it's like a weird respect thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Barry Allen though, all the Rogues seemed like they were adversaries.
Yeah.
They genuinely disliked him. Yeah. I don't know if that's a retcon during of what he is, but it's like, yeah, they have more respect for Willie as a person.
Yeah.
They probably respect. They give the respect to Barry Allen as as opposition.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Flash. We don't. Yeah. They don't. I don't say they don't particularly like Barry Allen.
Yeah.
But Wally did make friends with loads of his enemies. So hey.
Yeah, and he always like what's his face? Pied Piper. Wait, did he name Pied Piper? Yeah. Yeah.
And
he looked out for him. Yeah.
Even at Captain Cold and all them the rogues, they're like, "Oh, Wally, you got me again. You put me in jail. I'll find a way out. I'll get you."
Yeah.
He even made friends with Trickster as well.
Yeah, and the other guy. Wait, who was? Do you remember Salvation Run?
Yes.
Salvation Run?
Yeah. Where Trickster and Pied Piper.
That was it. I couldn't remember who he was.
Together, right?
Yeah, and they were trying to leave the bad guy stuff behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That's pretty cool. If I remember correctly, they both died at the end. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
What did you were you thinking of reading that? Because that's actually what does that tie into? That ties into a big story.
I think it's
Forever Evil.
No. Forever Evil's New 52, isn't it? I think, if I remember correctly, it's either before Infinite Crisis or after it.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Okay. Cool. All right. But you're not saying read it. You're just mentioning it.
Yeah, just mentioning it. I think it's actually after, when the rogues kill Bart Allen by accident.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might be after that.
Yeah, even though Inertia deliberately went to kill him. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. One non-Marvel DC one, Holy Terror. All right.
What the heck?
Where it's Batman vs. Al Qaeda, Frank Miller, super patriotic. And it was initially a Batman story, except that DC were like,
no,
we can't do this. We cannot do this. I want to. Batman's War on Terror, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
I want to see. I haven't read it. You've heard about it, right?
Not until you just said it.
Jeez, it's meant to be a massive train wreck. And I want to. I want to see. I want to know what the hell was this guy thinking. I think we should definitely have a look at that.
Yeah, of course.
Because we might be like one of those where all we think is, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Did you ever you read Dark Knight Returns? You must have.
Or the Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever read? Didn't you like it?
No.
No. Dark Knight Returns. I thought was a really good Batman coming out retirement story.
That's I don't know. I think I read it super late. I want to say less than 10 years ago it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get the hype behind this.
Well, I tell you what's odd. I read it. The first time I read it, I was like, I don't know about it. But then it was like, I reread it years later, and I was like, I get this. It's actually groundbreaking for the time.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight Returns 2, I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible.
I heard that's like a train wreck.
Yeah.
Then a nuclear bomb hitting that train wreck.
Yeah. It's not even good.
No.
It's not even so bad. It's good. It's just like, I don't know. When you have too much creative freedom and no one there to stop you, curtail that stuff, man.
Cause that's also when they say that Dick Grayson's the Joker, innit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. This is out of nowhere. This is okay. To be fair, right? It's not out of nowhere. It's okay. You've read All Star Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah.
Up to the issues that are out so far.
Yeah.
Okay. And will the series ever end? We do not know. But you see how nutty Batman is treating Dick Grayson like I'm gonna rescue this boy, but I'm gonna throw him the Batcave afterwards to tell him to feed on rats because he needs to toughen up.
Yeah.
All right.
Child abuse, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. And the way he speaks to him as well. And then he's
Yeah.
like, okay, I can see how that version, the Frank Miller universe version of Robin, can become nuts and become the Joker. So you got not only did you bring a child to war, you're mentally abusing this child, right?
Yeah. Which makes, when you think about it now, that makes Batman the villain because.
Yeah. Who then is like, you look, I can see why this kid, this 13-year-old turned nut, whatever, 12-year-old at the time,
Yeah.
turned nuts and then becomes whatever. Okay, he becomes the Joker, but what is he? Manipulates his own genes to some degree to become
Yeah.
to look like the Joker.
Bunch of rubbish. That's
And
all I
then,
can say.
yeah. And then Batman basically detonates the Batcave to turn it into a volcano to destroy Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
And how he found out it was Dick Grayson that was the Joker was just like really. It's like, okay, well, Batman needs to know, so conveniently we're going to make this something as the code to the self-destruction sequence of the Batcave. Batman says it, Dick says the counter, and then Batman says, I knew it was you. That's why I changed the code. It's like, all right. Right, okay. Fantastic. Well deducted, except that it wasn't.
That's the Batman I don't like as well, where, yeah, I know everything. I'm like 6 steps ahead. That's
Yeah.
to me tyrant.
Look, I tell you what, I do. Okay, so to a degree, I like that Batman because he's a mortal man in the world of superpowered beings, right?
Yeah.
So he needs to have contingencies. Except that when they become too much, you're like, how can you account for the thing that this person's? You can manipulate them in a certain way, but you can't manipulate them 6 degrees ahead, like you're saying.
Yeah. That's...
Make go that only route in order to make all the plan work, because that just if I like how he solved some like they had to think some enemies, maybe Deathstroke trying to fight him or something like that, and he goes, Deathstroke, I tell you what, I'll pay you double whatever whoever's paying you is if you just stop bothering me right now. Deathstroke's like, okay, cool, all right.
Cool.
That's cool. All right. Oh, yeah. I'll let you get on wherever you're going. But you got to pay me now because I'll make sure you don't run or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in No Man's Land, when Bane was like, Lex Luthor hired Bane to cause trouble, so then Lex Luthor could get the ownership plans of whatever it was, burn the building where the records are. Not Lex Luthor himself, but his cohorts. So then he could buy up Gotham.
Yeah.
And Batman finds Bane and says, Bane, you got to stop this. Stop this. Stop mucking about in my city. Bane's like, I'm getting paid quite a bit, actually. Small Island, I believe, right? And Batman's like, look, Bane. I can't remember how he basically bribed Bane to go away.
Yeah.
And Bane's like, yeah, okay. That's cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just, yeah, give me till nightfall and then I'll leave, yeah. I'm like, oh, well done, Batman, well done. You didn't appeal to his greed. You did something else. I can't remember what he was saying. I think he maybe bribed him with Venom. I don't want to say Batman went that low to do that because he wouldn't, but did something to the equivalent level. Oh, I think he basically said, once I finish dealing with Luthor, because I know it's Luthor that's putting all this stuff, he's not going to have any money. So you better go and get paid from him now and say you've done the job and leave because, yeah. Once No Man Land's over, he's not going to have any money to pay you. And Bane's like, okay, cool.
Sure.
Fair enough. And he's like, Bane don't even second guess it because he's like, you know what, Batman, I know you can do it as well. I'll just take my lead right now.
Yeah, I'll come back later.
Yeah. I said, I mean, there's something that we will look at. I know we've mentioned it multiple times. The final days of Superman, the new 52 Superman, because I think it 2 or 3 times now to me, and I still don't get it. If you have to re-explain it to me, I have to read it myself to see how this craziness is.
It's not a bad story, but yeah, just how it came out of nowhere. That's what makes it weird. There's no setup.
Well, I think the whole setup was New 52. Right, New 52, we wiped the slate clean. But we want Superman to get Wonder Woman, except that we don't want Superman, who's already married to Lois Lane, to get with Wonder Woman. And we don't have to rehash Superman getting with Lois Lane, because we're doing that for 70+ years now, right?
Yeah.
So, let's make new Superman get with new Wonder Woman, and then we can retcon it that it didn't happen. Even though it did.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so
What?
stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I'm not gonna go into a long rant about this, but I never understood why. All right, you rebooted Superman, fresh start. Okay, cool. He doesn't need to get with Lois Lane, but
Yeah.
then you take the steps to make him go with Wonder Woman, but
Yeah.
then you introduce new pre-52 Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it.
Okay, so I've got three more here, but I
All
just
right.
want to know. Okay, so have you read any Alan Moore stories?
Except for Watchmen, I don't think so.
All
I
right,
may
so
have, I don't know.
I've got listed here only there's a DC collection, right? But
Yeah.
because they got DC collection volume 1 with certain writers, volume 2, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's DC collection Alan Moore volume 1,
Hmm.
and I only choose specific stories on that I'd like you to read because otherwise it's going to be a lot of stories that we don't have to go through every single one of them storylines there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just mainly there's 2 Green Lantern stories and 2 Superman stories
Okay.
that you've probably read already, but I'll let you know. The 2 Superman stories, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
where it's the pre-crisis last story of Superman before they wipe it out for the New 52, where he becomes Jordan Elliott.
Wait, what?
Do you know who Jordan Elliott is?
No.
Okay, so this is where if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil the story for you. But basically, Mixius Picolic decides, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna f up Superman now,
Okay.
and he just gets all Superman's villains together to fight him.
Oh wow.
And Superman's like, all right, well, and kills all his family and friends. So Superman brings them all to Fortress of Solitude, where and then he locks it off, where he's trying to fight all these villains.
Yeah.
And then basically there's quite a lot of fatalities going on.
Oh wow. And this is obviously isn't canon.
As well.
And this obviously isn't canon, is it?
No, yeah, it's the last pre-crisis story of Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only 2 issues long, but like we were saying when we were reading Days of Future Past, a lot of stuff happens in a short amount of time.
Okay, cool. All right. Sweet.
The other Superman story, shoot, what's it called? There was a Supergirl episode on this as well.
Okay.
Sorry?
I'll carry on. I said okay. Go
on. The Black Mercy one.
Oh, the gift for the man who has everything, or something like that.
Yeah. For the man who has everything, stuff like that. Yeah. Did you ever read the original story?
No, I just seen the Justice League Unlimited episode of it.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty closely written episode.
Yeah, I thought so. But Robin's in it instead as well. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think you should read that particular story to see where it came from if you haven't read it.
Okay.
The 2 Green Lantern stories, I believe, one is the other. One of them is damn it, Mogo. Don't bother Mogo or something. Oh, Mogo doesn't like to socialize.
Yeah.
No. Okay, sorry, it's not that one actually. There's 3 Green Lantern stories. Mogo doesn't like to socialize, where a bounty hunter comes to fight the biggest Green Lantern there is, except that it turns out to be the planet Mogo.
Yeah.
Right. There's another short story of a Green Lantern, like alien being, who gets given the ring, except that they're colorblind.
Okay.
So it's quite intriguing how out of the box ideas, because how can it be called a Green Lantern if you know what the color green is?
Yeah.
So the way that they adjust that is actually pretty neat as well.
Yeah.
And the last Green Lantern story is how. Okay, you got the Sinestro War.
Yeah.
Atrocitus and the Empire of Tears.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the exact story of it, what it's called, but it's the one where Aben Sur speaks to these people.
Yeah.
and it's meant to tie the loop of why is Aben Sur riding a spaceship
Yeah.
in space if
Oh
he's got Green
yeah,
Lantern.
yeah. I think we spoke about that slightly before. Yeah.
So it seems like Alan Moore, by the way, tries to
Hmm.
tie up story plot holes
Yeah.
in this.
Okay.
But it's actually quite well written, and it's kind of like I don't want to say necessarily the prelude to Sinestro or the Blackest Night. I
Yeah.
think it actually is called In Blackest Night or something like that.
Ah, okay.
A lot of the Jeff Jones idea is like, oh, there's something written as a basis that I can expand it on and
Yeah.
create like a massive story around because that's not initially what the animal story was about. It was more like, all right, so if Aben Sur is finding a spaceship, let me put why has he got a spaceship? Oh, because he can't rely on his ring because he's a little bit of fear's crept in because of what the Empire of Tears was taunting him about.
Yeah.
Oh, and stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, on to more modern, two more modern stories.
Yeah.
Three Jokers.
Oh yeah. I want to read this.
Oh, you haven't
Please.
read it?
Nah.
All right, now I won't make any comments other than it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I heard it's like it was set up to be something really good, and then because of all this stuff going on, it ends up being.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like it's not particularly necessary.
Yeah.
It doesn't add to anything. I think there's some good ideas in it,
Yeah.
but yeah, all it does is make the Joker less unique.
Yeah. So I've heard as well. I was like, okay.
And we'll have lastly we'll have a look at Heroes Reborn, the
Yeah.
2021 storyline.
Yeah.
Not the Heroes Born from 1990, what, 4, 5, 6?
I think it's like 95. Wait. I think it's 96, 96, 96. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Heroes Reborn storyline where basically the Marvel version of the Justice League,
Yeah.
because literally they just basically took the Justice League and just changed their names
Yeah.
as Squadron Supreme. The Marvel Avengers never existed. Captain America is still stuck in ice, and the world is now the superheroes of the world are basically the Justice League, and how the Justice League would be in the Marvel universe, and how the world alters around them, essentially.
Yeah, because I want the new take. I want to see how that goes because I
Oh,
heard
you haven't,
that.
yeah, so you haven't read it or heard anything about it.
Nah, that's one I kept on trying to avoid.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's intriguing as a mystery, but it's more as well. It's
Yeah.
like how's the world going to be different if the Avengers never existed?
Yeah.
And then yeah, I can't spoil anything for you. Well, but that one be one because it's so recent. We might look at it way off
Yeah.
because then we can be like, okay, if it affects any other future storylines and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably look at the ones that are further back first.
Yeah.
Depending.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other ones you want to add, or I mean, we've got quite a list here, but
Not at the moment. No, I said the funny ones that I would like to read.
I
Unless you want to do as well, want to throw in Secret Invasion. Actually, no, we'll do that later.
actually haven't read that.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it later.
Okay, but here's the thing with Secret Invasion.
Hmm.
It's gonna have the TV series, so we might just work it both together.
True.
I'll tell you what we'll do. When the TV series comes out, I'll read this as well, and
Yeah.
then when we speak about it, maybe we can make comparisons depending on how long we go for.
Yeah.
But if the TV series is getting on, like episode gets on a bit long, we'll just cut the Secret Invasion to its own comic episode. Though the other thing I want to read is Marvel Annihilation.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude, that's amazing.
Marvel brackets Cosmic Annihilation,
Yeah.
I call it, because it is in space and you know.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
It just this Annihilation sounds generic. That's what I'm saying. That's why I calls it Cosmic Annihilation. It just makes it sound better.
Yeah, I read the whole lead up to that, and
Oh my God, you're
afterwards.
talking about the four issue miniseries, Super Scroll, Nova Corps.
Yeah, I read all of that stuff. Silver Surfer, all of it, man, all of it.
All right, and Beta Ray Bill, was it one of them? Was it?
I don't know if he's in a night. I know he's in the trilogy, but I can't remember if he's from the start.
Oh, it's a trilogy.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, okay. Wait, what? So first one is called Annihilation, right?
Yeah, Annihilation.
Yeah.
I can't remember the one's War of Realms. Is it no War of Kings?
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last one because the last one is where everything goes to crap.
Yeah.
It might be Annihilation Conquest. I can't actually remember.
Yeah. So there's 2 or 3 at this same time, by the way, where Annihilation was happening in space. Civil War was happening on Earth, right?
Yeah.
And Planet Hulk was happening on Sakaar. Okay. I don't know if you know this, right? But the initial draft, I think, of Civil War.
Yeah.
The heroes banded like the 7th issue where they're all fighting themselves and they didn't know how exactly how to conclude it. Mark Miller was like, Nova was going to fall from space and crash into Earth.
Yeah.
And then that's when the Annihilation Wave was going to invade as well. And then all the heroes group up together to fight it as one, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of would make sense. But then again, you'd have to get 2 series. I mean, it's a neat idea to get 2 series concluded into one. And you get like a prestige format final issue. But then it just leaves both of those inconclusive on their own when you collect them.
Yeah.
The other one was, I believe, might have been Civil War was happening, and then Hulk comes back.
Yeah.
At the end of it as well, and then everyone had to band up to fight the Hulk, because he wants to destroy the world, because he's the world breaker Hulk at that point. I don't know exactly. Yeah. I mean, you only hear bits and pieces of plans that might or might not have happened.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't mix anything together because it's just been a bit too much.
Yeah, that's when it's like would have jumped the shark sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you think, by the way, I haven't read Annihilation, but do you think it is the ending is better in itself and not having anything to do with Civil War?
Yes.
Okay.
It's better like that.
And could they have worked into the bit of Civil War, like where Nova crashes to Earth?
Nah, because then the end of the whole Cosmic Annihilation trilogy.
Yeah.
Because the characters in it are not well known, they kill them off and not care, sort of thing.
Okay.
But if it was tied into, into the main Marvel universe, I don't think it would have been as impactful. You're like, oh, okay, this person.
Yeah. The thing I heard, even though Civil War was getting more of the glory, Annihilation was meant to be the much better series.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I'm actually sad that I collected Civil War over Annihilation. It's just that, like you were saying before, Annihilation's whatever leftover characters they had.
Yeah.
And you're like, not that they were bad, right?
No.
They're just like the space guys. So you're like, yeah, but everyone on Earth is involved in something else. And you're like, maybe I should get the Earthbound ones because that might be relevant.
Yeah. And it ends up not being. That's it. Annihilation, War of Kings, and the Thanos Imperative. Okay. Yeah, that's the trilogy. It's amazing.
Okay, so when we look at that, are we looking at them one section at a time?
Yeah, to give it justice, one section at a time.
Yeah, okay. And you're gonna. All right, I probably won't. How long are the main storyline by itself? Let's say Annihilation, the first story.
I think looking at Wikipedia, it doesn't actually say.
Yeah. Okay. Do I need to read all the miniseries, or do you reckon you can just like give me a verbal lead up to that?
Yeah.
When we speak about, because that'd be a lot to read, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, nice to give you a verbal lead up. I have to probably quickly flip through them, but yeah, I can give you that.
Okay. Cool.
The whole thing.
All right. So that'll be that for this episode.
Yes.
Yeah. I am the cult leader of the Speed Force.
Oh, wow.
The Hindu god of motion himself, CY Chong.
And I am the... Why don't I think of this while you was talking? And I am the father of Batman, maybe. We don't actually know. The Black Glove. So stupid.
The
Simon
leader of
Hurt.
Black Glove, right?
Yeah, Simon Hurt. So dumb.
AKA
Carl Charles.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know any. Well, we've got quite a list here, but any other storylines we can add to the list, or
Yeah.
maybe your opinions of certain storylines that may, when we have a look, maybe convert us to make him think it was better than we felt it was, or
Yeah.
even like, okay, make us excited to read it, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, which probably will. But yeah, let us know. Yeah, in the comments, send us an email, all that lovely, jubbly stuff. Don't forget to tell a friend about us, Help us get our name out there and all that lovely, jubbly stuff. And yeah, until next time, we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for taking a trip around the multiverse with us.
Yes.
Bye.
Multiverse. Bye.